Hey guys, what is up and welcome back to my channel. If you happen to be new here, my name is Jess. As you guys can tell from the title of today's video, I'm going to be doing the Would You Rather 2.0 tag. I have seen this go around for a while since I started my Booktube channel, but I only ever saw the original tag. I never saw 2.0. I forget who did it recently that I saw it again, but I wanted to sit down and film the 2.0 version. There's quite a few more questions on this one than there was the original one, and I thought it'd be kind of fun just to hang out and do something like that. I actually really like these questions as well. I'm going to tag a few people down below, and I'm just going to go ahead and get started. So question number one is, would you rather only do tag videos or only do review videos? And honestly, I think I'd rather do tag videos. As much as I really like doing reviews, I tend to want to read more so for enjoyment recently, and I feel like even though I do critically review books, I like to do that on my blog in that kind of format as opposed to doing it in a video format. The only time I ever really like doing reviews on my channel is if I am doing them for a reason, like I really liked the book and I want to talk to you guys about it and I want to talk to you about why I really loved it. That's when I like doing reviews on my channel. That's why you don't see a whole lot of them, because there aren't that many books that I'm so blown away with that I need to sit down and talk to you guys about. So I'd rather do tags, also because it's very community centric. I feel like it's nice to tag your friends and do things like that, so I feel like it really brings us together as opposed to reviews. So question number two is, would you rather always see the film version first or never see the film version? So I'm assuming this means with books. I would honestly rather never see the film version. I know that's kind of weird. I would be missing Harry Potter, but other than that, there's not a whole lot of videos that are like done in that way, you know what I mean? Like there's not a whole lot of book to movie adaptations that I really go gaga over. I really like Ready Player One, but I've seen it once and I haven't seen it since then, so I feel like that would be an easy transition for me. As opposed to seeing the film and always being spoiled, I feel like I'd rather read the book and just never see the movie. So the next question is, would you rather have a list of every book you've ever read or still have the first physical copy of the first book you ever read? The copy of the first book you ever read, if that makes any sense. I would honestly like to know what book I've read since birth. I think that would be really cool. I wish Goodreads was something that I had access to growing up. I feel like it'd be really awesome to have all of the books that I've read since childhood on there. I feel like I could probably go back and add quite a few, but honestly, I don't really care about owning the first book that I ever really loved because that was different seasons, and I did own that for a really long time and it fell apart. So I feel like I could just buy that book whenever I want to, so I'd rather just honestly know all of the books that I've read in my lifetime. So the next question is, would you rather have an active book club of non-booktubers or have lunch once a year with your booktube bestie? And honestly, I think I'd rather have lunch with my booktube bestie because my booktube bestie is actually G from Book Roast and I never get to see her. I mean, I see her obviously on Skype and we message all the time, but to actually physically be able to see her, I think would be really great. Like, I really like having book clubs and I do have like a book club, but I would honestly rather see her once a year as opposed to having a like weekly meeting or even like a monthly meeting. I would honestly just at this point give up a lot to be able to actually meet her in person. God, I'm creepy. I'm so sorry, G, if you're watching this. Alright, the next question is, would you rather have all the time to read everything that you want to read or all the money to buy everything that you want to buy? I am blessed to be a very fast reader and I don't often find that I struggle with time to read. It's more about finding the motivation to want to read. So I would rather have all the money in the world to be able to buy every single book that I want to buy, and then I'll struggle with not having any time to actually read them. So the next question is actually really interesting. It's, would you rather have the creative ability to edit the book to movie adaptation essentially of your favorite book, or would you rather pick the cast? I kind of reworded that a little bit differently. I would rather be able to pick the cast. I know that's strange. I feel like a lot of people would want to have like creative control over making sure that the book to movie was very similar, but I would rather be able to pick who they cast in that movie, because like for me with the whole Johnny Depp thing with Fantastic Beasts, that really kind of pissed me off. I'm kind of over it and I just probably won't see the movie. I don't really know what I'm gonna do, but I feel like often there are some people who are cast in movies that I'm just like, why in God's name did they do this? It actually also happens a lot with shows too. There's so many times in shows and movies where I'm just like, I can get over the story differences or even like the story issues, but I cannot see a certain actor as anything other than they are. The most recent one that I have is Travelers. There's a show called Travelers, which I think was originally on Fox or something like that, but they put it on Netflix. And the main character is one of the characters from Will and Grace. It's Will, and I cannot for the life of me see him as anything other than Will. So I feel like if it was my favorite book, I would want to make sure that the movie was all of the actors that I would choose, all the actors that I could really see the characters with. But that's just me. The next question is, would you rather have your favorite fictional superpower or favorite fictional technology? I think I'd rather have my favorite fictional technology. I've been reading a lot more into like sci-fi and stuff, and there's a lot of really cool things. I would like to have like supercomputers. I would like to have, there's one thing, it's called, oh, I can't remember what it's called, but it's basically where you put these little like cubes into like a microwave and then food pops out. I think that that is so cool, and I would love to have that. I feel like that'd be so good for our society as well. I feel like it'd make food a lot more accessible. I feel like, and to an extent, it would make food, like healthy food, a lot more accessible. I just think that it would be a lot better for our environment. I know that's a super long-winded answer about why I would prefer technology over like a superpower, but that I would just prefer that. It would make everything so much easier. There's so much that happens that you could just take care of with technology, like way in the future. I feel like things run better. Because other than that, the only superpower I would want would be like magic from Harry Potter, and I don't really consider that a superpower. So I'm definitely gonna go with technology on that one. All right, question number 8 is would you rather read a meh book with a spectacular ending or a spectacular book with a meh ending? I would honestly, that's so hard. I have not in a long time read a book that was so good and had a boring ending, but I have recently read with The Raven Boys. That book was so meh for me, but the ending was like drop dead, oh my god. But the problem is getting through the boring parts of that is so fucking hard. So I think I would choose a meh book with a spectacular ending because, I don't know, I'm one of those people that likes to try to trudge through books. A book has to be really bad for me to want to DNF it. So I think I'll go with that. Although honestly, that could change in like 10 minutes. I could feel completely different in like 10 minutes about that. It really just depends on my mood, honestly. All right, so the next question is, would you rather not be able to read in a moving vehicle or not be able to read laying down? And honestly, I can't do either. So I can't read in a moving vehicle. It makes me absolutely sick to my stomach, and I cannot read laying down. It drives me insane. I have to preferably be standing while I'm reading, but I will settle for sitting. Obviously I sit when I read like at home. I sit in bed. I don't lay down. I can't lay down like on my stomach and read. I can't lay down on my back with like the book up. I can't do that. So I mean, I can't do either of these anyway. So, and what does it matter? This next question is actually really cool. It's, would you rather read your favorite book with fresh eyes, like for the first time, or be able to essentially remove from your memory your most disappointing book? And that is amazing. I think I would rather experience my favorite book for the first time again. I think that would be really cool. The only caveat to that is you could essentially, if it's a book that's really changed your life, you could be undoing everything, I feel like, to an extent. Because you're always a different person when you read a book for the first time. But I still think that would be really cool because I feel like the things that I love about my favorite books are things that are going to stick with me no matter what. So I'm going to go ahead and say that I would prefer to read my favorite book again for the first time. So the last question, and possibly the easiest question on this, is would you rather go to Hogwarts or live in Middle Earth? And I'm going to be so stereotypical and say that I would rather go to Hogwarts. I think that Middle Earth is beautiful, but I can't handle it. I can't handle the things that they go through there. And while Voldemort does obviously exist in Harry Potter, I think that going to Hogwarts would be so amazing. It'd be so amazing. It's been something that I wanted to do my entire life. So I'm definitely going to go with going to Hogwarts for sure. Alright guys, so that is it for today's video. I hope you guys enjoyed. I'm going to tag a few people down below that I think should do this. I really had fun doing this. I think that this kind of tag is really fun, just like the answering questions kind of tag, you know what I mean? I like tags that you don't necessarily need to have books for, but are more about the readers. If you're interested in doing this, you definitely should. Leave down below the final question if you would rather go to Hogwarts or live in Middle Earth. I'd be really excited to see kind of where we're split on that. But I hope you guys are having a good day, and I will see you guys in my next video.